Just couldn't help. You heard a glitch there, folks. At any rate, just want to say this, welcome back here. I'm glad to be back. This is, I think, I don't know, my third episode or so. But at any rate, this is episode 439. And tonight's going to be a little different. We're kicking off just demos. So in other words, the folks that are coming on from this point, they're just going to showcase what they do. And it's going to be in a particular area of their style. And they're going to give some explanation to that. And then they're going to be kind of like a show and tell. And so tonight we have Coach Danny Terrell, and he's going to be going over Seguidas. He's going to explain what he's going to be doing. So if you're watching, tell us where you're watching from. Smash that like button. If you want to see more of Coach Danny as far as his bio, I would suggest you go to episode 155, and that's going to tell you everything. But for tonight's purposes, it's really just be the demos. We're not going to be kind of covering any of his bio. We've already done that. So, but yeah, reference that 155 if you want to check that out. All right, and without further ado, here is Coach. Hey, Coach, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing, Dean?
Good. So glad to have you here. So I'm excited. Kind of kicking this off. So looking forward to seeing what you're going to show us. So before we get into that, what are Seguidas?
Well, the Seguidas is a set of, it's 3 sets of technique patterns that sort of explains how to correct certain problems or how to address certain problems based upon different ranges. And it's also the Seguidas within PTI or within BTK, the first sets of techniques that you begin to learn are big and broad motions. So we learned abecedarios, which is big, broad, big motions. And then we go into solo distan, which is 5 attacks, which are the crossing angles or diagonal angles. And again, they're relatively big and broad motions. Seguidas brings everything back into a very narrow window. And it's more along the lines of me aligning this way. And now we're playing between the ears. And we're playing this corridor right between the sticks. So if you think about right between the sticks, this is where most of the action. And so instead of having big windups that have big power, we're going to have sharp power. So it's going to be very sharp jabs and dropping down within that corridor. And so the Seguidas, when I originally started trying to understand what they were, I don't speak Filipino. I don't understand the Filipino languages by any means. I speak English. So in trying to learn the translations, I was having difficulty with it. One of the things that Bill explained was that Seguidas means bridging, but the connotation is not exactly the same as what we think about a bridge. The term Siki, from what he explained to me, and then I later on talked to Rantuhan Gahe and asked him specifically what was the term and what did it mean and how we would look at it. And he explained to me at that time, and this is my understanding, and whether I have it correct or not, I could be corrected, but this was my understanding and talking with especially Rantuhan Gahe, was that they use the term Siki, and it would be similar to watching a football game and a football player takes off with the ball and he's open field running and everybody's hollering, go. He said, we would say Siki, meaning to continue and to bridge across the lanes and go all the way across the other side of the field. So you continue. The way that we use it strategically is that if I were fighting someone who was equal to my skill, equal to my size, and was using a weapon that's very similar to what I'm using in weight. So we're going to be moving about the same speed. We'll be moving about the same action. Contradas, conversely, would be if I'm a lot faster and using a lighter weapon against someone who's stronger and heavier and has the heavier weapon. Recontras, it would be the person who has the heavier weapon. So the strategies that you're going to use against someone who is equal to you versus someone who is faster or a lot stronger than you is going to be a little bit different. And so these are used for those types of things, someone who's equal to you.
Okay.
And we've gone from making these big, broad motions into sharp jabs and getting on the inside of that narrow corridor.
So it sounds like in KI, we call it kind of right now, where you're kind of, some folks, they'll say eye reference or 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? Would that be somewhat similar?
I would think that would be very, very similar to what we're talking about.
Okay.
And I'm going to pop, again, playing that corridor all the way down the body. So I would be in this position, blading my body versus being open and big.
Okay.
And we start getting this into the more advanced areas, and it's advanced because you've gone through all the other stuff and you've learned how to mechanically use your body. Instead of just swinging the sticks, is how you use your shoulders, how you use your pectoral muscles, how do you use your hips, how do you use your lat muscles and your scapular muscles to be able to generate power. So, I can generate power by just throwing my arm, or I can pull the shoulder back and pull like a peg deck and whip. And then I can get my hips involved. So you've already learned how to do that with your body. So it's really easy now to draw across and get this jab because I'm pulling my shoulder back, expanding my chest, and popping with the jab. So it becomes a short motion versus a big, long, broad motion.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So I don't know where you want to start. Like I said, I will lower the screen as soon as you're ready to showcase what you want to do.
What we'll do is I'm gonna show you what we call in PTI, Picadilly International, the Seguida jab.
Okay.
And then everything is sort of predicated off of that. Now the Seguida jab has multiple pieces to it. So it's not just a single jab, and it's a combination of things. You may use 2 of them, you may use all of them. More than likely, you're going to use 1 or 2 bits of it. And so it'll start off with standing here at an angle. I'm going to draw the weapon across my body. And as I draw across my body, I'm pulling my shoulder back, and I'm drawing my scapular muscles back to the backside. I'm going to step off on a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to jab. Now I'm using the last inch of the weapon, or the very corner of the weapon if I can. And then we're looking at hitting the eyes, bridge of the nose, the area right below the nose and the upper lip, jabbing off of that line. So I'm drawing and popping out. And I'm using the very tip of the weapon to do that. So I'm going to use Megan here just to demonstrate positioning. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to angle off. I'm stepping off on a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to throw this out down the center. I'm hunting the center versus trying to cut to the side. So I'm not going to punch down with my hand or just punch here. I'm going to move my body off the line and hit the center. And then from that position, I'm going to drop down. So that's the first part of the jab, is to get that horizontal jab in, and then we have a vertical drop down. And that drop down or pull could be just specifically to the drop down. I can use them in combination, where if we're playing 1 and 2, she does a 1, she goes back with the 2, I'm going to slip the 2 to the side and I'm going to jab her face. When she comes back with her 1 again, I'll drop down and smash the fingers. So I can be picking up as a horizontal back into a vertical shot. Or it could be, we're playing 1 and 2 again, 1 and 2, again. And I fake the 2 and I just drop straight down, and I'm using the last 6 inches of the weapon to hit the cranium of the head and just drop, trying to get a good knockout on the top of the head. So that would be the first part of the jab, second part of the jab. So one jab is horizontal, another jab is vertical. We tie them together as a mnemonic device to remind the practitioner that you can jab, you can pull down. I also have an upward cut off of that following. So if I drop down, now my head is exposed and she comes to my head, what I'm doing, I'm going to slide back. And as I slide back, I'm come up and take the knuckles as I come up. If she's doing a horizontal shot and I slide back, I may take the wrist as I come up off of that. So the first part of the jab is horizontal. The second part is vertical down. The third part is vertical up. And then we have this funny looking corkscrew thrust and then a return back to our starting position. That corkscrew thrust could be a thrust. And if I'm doing a backhand sort of twist this way, don't move for him to stay where you are. That's full extension of my arm and my body. If I turn my hand over, you'll notice I can reach your face. So I can actually pick up about 2 inches from thrusting here to turning over without having to bring the body forward, just by rotating the arm. So we'll get that corkscrew action to get a little bit more pump and maybe pluck out the eye or poke them in the eye and damage your eyesight. So the whole Seguida jab now is down, it's a horizontal, vertical down, vertical up, thrust, and return back to this position. And then we'll use that in multiple different ways. Now we'll play from that, playing off of diamond footwork, off of triangle footwork. If Megan does a number 1 slash, I may jam across her hand. She comes back with a 2. When she comes back with a 2, I'm dropping down. When she comes back again, I'm going to slide back up, cut, thrust, and out. Another way that I could use the same thing, if you were playing 1 and 2, I slide up, I'm going for her eyes. She steps back so I miss her. When she comes back in with her 1, I take her straight down. If I get that, that's fine. She comes back again, I'm putting it upward, and I'm going for a thrust, but she's coming back again. I may pull that out of the way, picking up her hand here, or thrusting her, or she comes down and pats it out of the way, and then thrust as I go past. So it can be used in multiple ways. I can also use it as a scoop. So I'm going for that thrust, and she's coming with one, and they scoop her weapon out of the way, and I'm back into the horizontal, into that vertical again, to finish her and then move on to somebody else. So that's the premise of the Seguida jab. If I can do a horizontal, I can do a short, snappy horizontal. I can do one from off of the forehand side versus just the backhand side. So I can do a forehand, backhand. Inside of the 1-2, and this thrust that we have is a movement of the hand moving outward as I make my thrust. That could be used defensively to clear your hand. So if I'm going for this thrust, and she's coming to smash my hand, I can move my hand out and then finish my thrust from that position. So the whole Seguida jab is jab, down, up, thrust, and return. The second version of it is a hit, and thrust return. So it's like a sharp 1, 2, and a thrust return. And we teach that portion of it in the second set of 12 sets that we have. The way that we can use that is I'm going to go from a largo range into more of a corto or a medial range. And I'm going to solve a different type of problem as we do this. So again, we're playing 1 and 2. I'm going to be on the outside. And I've got her timing. And we start feeling each other out. And so now when she comes in, I'm going to nail her off this side. She comes back. I'll open her up and drop down on top of her. When she comes back in again, finish, pluck, and I'm out. And so that's another way that we can use it as an entry into a finish and move on. And so I see a lot of things coming up on the side, but I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, I'm kind of answering some of them, but I do want to, let's, we can say hello to some folks. We got Francisco here. We got a bunch of people here. We got 16. All right. We got Ventura. We got Brett, Scott, Eric from Canada. We got Kurt, Alaska. Paulo's here.
Hello, Paulo.
Yeah, and Brett Reese. I think I mentioned his name already. And I think Ken Jowers. All right, Dan, Nick Merchant. Hey, Nick. I hope things are going okay. I was actually going to message you today. See how you're doing. And I believe there might be a few other folks that just maybe have not just said hello. But yeah. And okay, and Chad's here, and Rich is here. This is how the system turns into
Any
this.
questions in any of them?
No questions yet.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So let me carry on.
And we got
And
Brian.
I'll go from another set where
Okay.
we're working from the short jabs. So everything we've done so far has been this backhand jab and a vertical down.
Okay.
So
I will lower myself again.
I can also use it, again, playing off of 1 and 2. I'm baiting her timing, trying to figure out her timing. She's trying to figure out my timing. And again, we're just playing 1 and 2. So now I'm going to use it more as I step in and I break in on the inside. I can whip, elbow or face, and now I'm into a stick lock, which is more of a grappling aspect of how can I use that same action. So that comes out about third set where we get really close in and tight. Or maybe I'll be that I'm coming on the outside, and the other headbutt, grab the arm, and from that position, disarm it, and finish it from there. Again, that's out of the third set, where we start getting into locks and grapples, and then we have counters and re-counters off of those same things. I have the one short 1 and 2 I was talking about earlier, whereas when I break in, and she comes in, I'm going to do a short hop and pluck her eyes and get out. And that could be more of a defensive action back into an offensive action, which would be a counter-attack, counter-offensive action. You're playing 1 and 2, and I hit the 2, and I'm really short on 1, and then 2 coming back across her face. If in the process of doing just like we did right here when I was hitting, I can start 1 and 2, and she comes back in again, I can pop that back out, and now I'm back into the first part of the jab to finish up on. I can use it as into other disarms. So we're playing. I come around, hit, pull her into me, and then from that position, I'll lock her up on the backside. And you know, a lot of these locks where people hold their sticks, just naturally, when you're playing around, all of these are positions for locks that we play with out of the Seguidas. So let's look at one where I get in close and she shuts me down. So you turn on this side, give it a second. So I'm going to break in on the inside. I go to hit her hand. I get a good lick on her hand. I'm going to keep the side of her body. And she doesn't want that, so she's going to pin my elbow with her other hand. She's going to pin my elbow. When she does this, I'm going to spin my weapon around, and she's going to push into me like she's going to try to lock me up. I'm going to spin my weapon around, and bury the weapon inside, and I'm going to kneel to the ground and impale her as she goes into the weapon on the backside. So how do we adjust on counters and re-counters off the opponent on the other side?
Okay. Awesome. We got Brett. We got Basta here. All right. We got a bunch of folks watching, Coach. So this is awesome.
Cool. Questions?
Nothing as of yet. People are just overall happy with what you're showing. So yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to start showing some of the comments.
One of the drills, and this is a good way to start off in drilling, and I'll pay a little bit more attention on that. On the basic Seguida jab, we'll play it walking the diamond footwork. Let me lower the camera a little bit so you can see my feet. So I'm going to walk the diamond.
Okay.
So this next going to be my head guy. So we're playing 1 and 2. When she comes off of her 2, I'm going to step in, sliding across and trying to hunt the eyes. She comes back, hitting me with the 1. I'm going to drop down on her hand. When she comes back with the 2, I'm going to switch over, pick up, clock, and then finish. And so we'll practice that over. So getting that footwork and action in there. We can do it from walking on the triangle versus working on the diamond. So again, I enter in on one, drop her down, she comes back in again, and then I thrust again. She comes back in again, one, come down, she comes back, and thrust again. So all I'm doing is just playing it off of the diamond or off the triangle, which gives us just lots of good reps to get it. So I want to be able to enter in, again, playing 1 and 2. I make pop, and I'm entering from this position. She comes in really hard and fast. I may pull her hand out, back into the jab, thrust, and then back out again.
Awesome.
And that is
awesome.
sort of a quick synopsis of what the Seguidas are. And we have 3 sets of 12.
3 sets of 12. Okay.
3 sets of 12. The first set starts off with the basic Seguida jab, and then different problems that are given and how do you correct those problems.
Okay.
Let's say.
I do got a question, Coach.
Yes.
I do got a question.
Certainly.
And this is from Richard. He would like, if you don't mind, to show one again where you stab to the rear, please.
Where I stab to the rear?
That's what he's asking. Yeah. Yeah, show the one again where you stab to the rear, please.
I didn't do one where I stabbed to the rear. I did one when I did choke from the rear.
So Richard, let us know if you're.
Oh, are you talking about when I step backwards this way?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna guess that's probably it. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm getting on the inside, and I'm going to take the hand. Or I may get a shot on my hand, or she pulls her hand back and miss it. When she comes back in again, I'm going to rotate the ribs and I'm going to jam her. So turn. I'm popping back, getting a boutique to her ribs, and she doesn't want that, so her other hand's going to jam me, so I can't get this in. She's going to crowd into me, like she's going to try to drive through, or she's going to pull down on my arm, pull down, to trap me off of this position.
Okay.
So as soon as that happens, when she does that, as soon as I feel this here, I'm going to spin and drop the weapon underneath my armpit, bury it into them, and I'm gonna kneel and drop to the ground.
Okay.
I'll do this gingerly because I don't want to hurt her and I don't want to hurt my own knees. I have bad knees. Drop to the ground, and I'm gonna plant my puño on the ground and pull her on top of me. And
Okay.
she will get impaled as I pull her on top of me.
So, Coach, that was it. And Richard says thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I have another one, Coach. This
Sure.
is from Tom, my man Tom in Maryland. How would you respond with the bikini jab Seguidas if the other person is stepping off center?
So if they're doing it to me, is that what I'm getting?
So he's saying, how would you? So you respond. So I'm assuming, yes. How would you respond? Yeah.
Okay, so if she's going to do a jab to me, so are you going to do it? Stand like this. You're going to step out and jab.
Thank you for the question.
I'm going to pop it. I'm just going to whip this down. I'm going to do what we call a boutique. I'm going to step back and create distance, and I'm going to pop it down. As she leaves the weapon, drop it and go back to the top of her head. That's the first thing that I'm going to do is try to negate that jab coming at me.
Okay. That was, thank you. That was the question. All right. And So Sweet Movement from Brett Reese. All right. Richard says, thank you for going over that again. All right. Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
Whatever else you want to show, Coach.
So, yeah, let me do one because I used to do lots of up and downs, but I don't do them anymore. We teach it, it's still in the system. I don't do it much because I got both of my knees are prosthetic knees, so it's difficult for me to go up and down. But out of the second set, we have one where, again, we're playing 1 and 2. And then she switches and she comes down with a vertical shot. We're playing 1 and 2, and she comes bailing into me with a vertical shot. I want you to step in when you do that. Two, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna drop down, I'm gonna take her legs or her knees. If she powers on through with her stick, she powers on through, I'm gonna turn it back over and consider to hit as much as I can. If she bails out, I go down to her toes. If she stays in and she turns back with the two again, I'm gonna drag it and come back around. She comes back into the one, up, push her away, and then bop and finish off of that line. So that's another way of dropping the ranges, or excuse me, your heights going in and out.
Nice.
One of my favorite that I pulled it off a lot, and I'll show this one. This comes out of the second set as well. I try not to have favorites, because when you have favorites, you start looking for them, and then it doesn't happen. But I was able to pull this one off a lot. You know, we're playing 1 and 2, and it's, as she's going with her one, she's going to step in. I'm going to change my line, and I'm going to do a one to the side of her head, or I'm going to go off the side of the head, which makes her either clock her or she's coming back around. She comes good. So we do that again. Step back. Good. So we're doing 1 and 2. She comes in on her one. I'll teeth the side of the head, but she comes back around and spin underneath her. And I'm going to come up with her knee and thrust. If her hand comes in with the weapon the way she was coming in, I'm going to check the weapon, and I'm going to now smash the arm. I'm going to put it into a lock, and I'm going to bring her down to the ground, and I can finish her from the ground position.
Nice. Awesome, folks. If you're watching, if there's something in particular you would like Coach to show while he's here, please put it in the comment section.
I'll do that same technique off of another part of the body, because of the positioning being where I am. So I'm down on my knees, and she, instead of being away from me where I'm reaching out for her, she comes crashing in. So now I'm going to clock, and I'm going to grab the shoulder and bring her down off of the shoulder. If I can get her off of the shoulder, I can bring her down, pull her up, reach across, and now I got the neck, or the back, or the spine to bring them down.
Nice. Oh, we got another question. So
yes,
Rich's
sir.
Question is, one more question. Can you adopt these movements to a folder? I'm assuming a folding knife.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there are nuances that you have to adjust, by all means.
Okay.
But yes, I'm going to use my folder knife. Okay, so the same thing. She can have a stick, she can have a knife, she can be empty-handed, I can be empty-handed. It doesn't really matter. That same technique we just did, where I was dropping on my knees. When she comes in with her one, I can jam, I can slam into the funny bone nerve right here. When I come up, that's my lock, and then I can take that and bury that into the subclavian artery, or I can rip the bicep. So that same lock is there to use off of a folder. It can be empty-handed. She comes in with a one, and I'm locking her up from that position, taking the face.
Nice.
So it's the same body, it's the same mechanics.
Gotcha.
But how am I using it based upon being close versus having a weapon?
Okay.
So I can lock her up this way. Lock her up this way.
Nice.
Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm gonna wait for your comments, but I'm sure it did. Okay, here we go. This is from Lewis Bowers. How would you handle a Balintawak fighter in Quarto Mano? Maybe.
Well, everything is scenario based.
Yeah.
So how am I going to handle him based off of what?
Let's say the Balintawak guy is doing a lot of block check encounters. I can.
Okay, so we're always playing that position, right? Are they playing this position, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking from here, we're looking from here.
You know what? Go from there.
So I go here. I'm just
pretty self-explanatory.
Coming down.
Yeah. I mean, that is a reference point just from the number of Balintawak guys I've interviewed. I mean, so yeah.
Yeah. And then you still have from this position I can check, she can check my hand. If she checks my hand and goes, I open it up, and that's my drop, that vertical drop that we had before.
Okay, yeah.
And that is taught out of our number 6, out of the first set, just for people, for references for us.
Okay.
Again, we're playing 1 and 2, and I slide off, and I'm going for her eyes. She steps back, and I miss her, so I'm dropping down, and she comes away. And as I'm coming up, she jams my stick. When she does, I'm going to teep, and I'll drop back and pop her in her face and pull it out. So that same little sort of pop out happens, the same thing here. Pop out, I'm going to her hands. So anytime you get a stick, it should be on the hands. So if I check her, when I go to her wrist, I'm going to her hand versus the stick, but it's that sharp pop, which is going to just drive the weapon out of their hand.
Nice. I think that answered the question. Yeah. Folks, if there's something you would like Coach to show, let us know. Let me see here. Yeah, if there's something else you wanted to show, Coach, but yeah, go ahead. And I'll see if anything comes in.
I'll do something off of, again, out of our third set.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
And going into bayonet actions.
I will lower myself.
So again, playing 1 and 2. Come a little, and I hit the 2 as I come up, and jamming the hand, cocking the head, grabbing the weapon, and going to hit her. If she blocks, I pull the hand down and hit. If she comes with the other weapon, I'll pull the weapon out of the way and then continue to hit from that position, and then down, and then finish. And again, we're still playing this corridor. So I get this out of the way, and I'm driving down in this position. So if she blocks, I'll pull her down and hit. Or I'll pull it down and hit. Or I'll pull it down and hit. Go around, now back into stick locks, chokes, and finishes from those positions. And that's out of our third set.
That's the third set. Okay. Nice.
And then we have counters and recounters to them. It's kind of hard for me to get into all the counters.
Yeah, no. Understood. I think this is great so far. He's saying, Brett saying something that Punyo traps may be cool. Okay. Folks, again, if there's something you want him to show, please chime in now.
Punyo traps may be cool.
Yeah, that's from Brett.
Yeah, absolutely. When you start thinking about using your stick this way,
yeah,
really all you're doing is jabs, rear straight, jabs, rear straights. And then how do we hook and use the punyo for the traps and hooking them off of those things? So having good boxing skills, having good kickboxing skills, I think is a very, very important aspect of the training that we do. You need to have good empty hand combatives. And if you don't have that, you're going to struggle with some of these other things.
I agree. Like if you don't have good point on that. Okay, we do. All right. So Gabe, can you show some disarms?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Well, I've already shown 3 of them, but this playing it out of the Seguidas. Again, playing 1 and 2. I get her timing, and I'm sliding over the hip, and I'm going back and again, I'm touch the hand and pull. And I'm smashing her hand when I do this, and that's my primary disarm, is to actually smash the hand out of them. Okay. If that doesn't work, I'm going to put her hand in position so that when I attack, the disarm happens. So again, we're playing 1 and 2, and I'm going to go around the inside here, and in this position, I'm going to be attacking her hand. I'm attacking her hand or her body, the disarm. I'm not going to hit her hand. I'm going to go through, and that's where the disarm happens.
Okay.
Another one would be 1 and 2. I get on the inside and thrust in the face. Coming over, critique the face, and then there's the disarm as I go to hit her.
Awesome. Thank you.
And we have. When you get into disarms and the disarmor program that we have 30 different disarms that we show. We have counters and recounters to each one of them. So Like the one that I just did here, while I rode around in this position, I'll get Megan to just, you're hanging this way, up like this. Good. What do you say? Put it right here. Right there. And on top of the stick. And in the shoulder. Good. That's what you want to do. So when she does that, she opens my hand up. And she thrusts it forward, come back and thrust the side of her head. First counter, just don't let her wrap up the hand. And then there's recounters to those. And so we have 30 basic disarms, counters and recounters to all of them.
30 basic and the counters and recounters. Okay.
And there's multiple disarms after that. There's just tons
10
and tons.
hours. What about the dreaded set 1, number 9?
Set 1, number 9.
The dreaded set 1, number 9.
Set 1, number 9 is low attacks to the legs.
Okay.
So she's supposed to hit my leg. How do I drop the stick down and protect my leg? So I call them your leg shield. You're picking your leg up.
Can I see your leg evasion again?
Also within that same framework, when she goes to attack my leg and drop down, and I'm reaching for, if I can, if she's going across here, grabbing the hand, and I'm kneeing her hand to do that, to loosen up the grip. It also pushes me back and it shoves her hand deeper into mine, which allows me to be able to come back in and make a disarm off of that possible.
You know what?
It's off of one, outside, inside, inside, and outside.
Raising your leg.
If she's doing my right leg, my left leg is forward, and she's doing a backhand strike to my hand, to my leg. She's coming across and putting in a shield, again, a knee, getting and going.
Just curious. This question has no rhyme or reason to what you're doing. It's just out of curiosity. I'm swinging at your leg without stepping in. What would you do for a leg evasion?
Okay, so inside, outside, doesn't matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's my weapon on this side, that side?
Yeah. So from out to in, sure.
Forehand. So you're gonna do a forehand attack to my knee.
Sure.
She's gonna be just back up there, yeah.
So you are stepping in. Okay. I was just curious if there was any parallel to, that's all.
Seguida wise, using the Seguida principle, she goes attacking, I'm dropping straight down.
Okay.
She's gonna drop. You know, everything is scenario based. There is no magic pill. There's no magic one.
Leg and
Technique. So it's really going to be based upon what's happening within the flow.
Yeah.
You know, is she stepping forward and I'm stepping forward? All of a sudden, I'm going to have to do something totally different.
Right.
Because my body weight is going. So if she steps forward to my knee and I'm coming down, I may just have to swoop through it to guard it. You know, there's those OS moments. Oh, shucks, I better do something.
No, it's so interesting. Like, sometimes we'll offline it with ARCO, meaning there's going to be weapon contact because of the range, of course. But if they're hitting at your leg, but they're not coming really deep, but if you don't do anything, of course they're gonna make contact. We kick the leg back like we did. Sometimes we'll actually hang it. If they come in really deep, we step back, then hang. So like if she came in really deep, I'm just curious. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, good. Well, again, if I'm stationary, I'm a fool to begin with.
Yeah, for sure.
You're stepping in deep and you're trying to get deeper, is that good enough?
Good enough. Yeah.
Okay, good. So if my weapon is on this side and she comes in really, really deep, I'm still stepping back, but I'm going to guard here, and we're going to use what comes out of our system, which is part of the four wall.
Four walls.
So when she comes back in, I'm going to double force this to pop it out of the way. If she's coming hard like a freight train, she comes all the way through. Sticks coming all the way through. So the pack definitely did it. I'm going to coming back around and taking it.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah,
So
I'm just curious.
And back over to the other side.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, awesome. Again, I was just curious. I know it didn't really have anything to do with your.
Yeah, no, and it's you know, everything is fighting is ugly.
Mm.
And if there's a lot of people that don't spar, they play. So they have, as far as I'm concerned, they have a theoretical understanding of the system that they're training, or they have a partial understanding of it. And if you understand it in theory, that's cool. You may be able to help somebody else move it along. But if you haven't sparred it, you don't understand the timing. You don't understand the power and the pressure that comes with. And if you think that you're not going to get hit or you're not going to get smashed, it's going to happen. You know? And
Yeah,
so
I wish I never got hit or smashed.
Yeah, I'm big on learning the fundamentals, applying the fundamentals, and working them. But you got to spar it. If you don't spar it, then you're going to have a theoretical and you can be a great driller. I mean, there are guys out there that are better drillers than I am. I mean,
there's a ton of better drillers than I am. There's a ton out there of better drillers than I am. But much to your point, though, hey, makes them happy. Hey, so be it.
Yeah. No. And there are people that's all they want to play, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
But don't think that you're really learning how to fight with it, because you're not.
Yeah, as long as they know that and they're conveying that to their students, more importantly. Hey guys, I'm giving you the art, this is that, but I haven't tried this out.
You have to be honest with your student. Yeah, and there are things that I tell my students all the time. I've never pulled this off. I've seen other people pull it off. I've never pulled it off.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, right. Just be right. Just integrity, self, honesty to students, right?
That's it.
That's it. Ken Jowers was very happy, but he has to go.
Yeah, thank you, Ken.
Thank you for stopping by, Ken.
Ken's got a unique perspective of it too. He's a police officer.
He's PTI, right? He's yeah. Oh, we got okay. So I'm Gabe, coached in a 2-rail. What FMA styles have you trained?
Well, PTK for sure. I've done a lot of training.
I was confused. Are you doing PT?
I've done a lot of training with Guru Dan, and of course his blend and different aspects of that. I have done some modern knees, not a whole lot, but I have done some. I've played with people that were trying to help me play with Balintawak. I'm certainly not a Balintawak player by any means, but it looks like it would be, everybody that does it is having a great time.
They do look like they're having fun, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never seen people playing Balintawak and not laughing and having a good time.
That is true. They do.
I've got exposure to a lot more than I've actually, to say that I'm trained in. But for the most part, it's been PTK and Guru Dan in the Silent Blend.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I appreciate what you did. This is great. Like, this worked out perfectly. I'm really enjoying. I think I'm going to enjoy this new format. It's like getting folks on and just showcase your stuff, and then people like it. Who knows? You might even get students. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So I think it's going to be just good for all around community.
Cool. And if I can do a shameless plug here, I do a Zoom session on Friday evenings.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
We cover a lot of good fundamentals and body mechanics and weapon manipulation that you can get a lot of good reps in, mindful reps. Excuse me. And then you can take it, go with your own training partner and work it. Zoom has been a really good thing for a lot of us. I've met a lot of people that I wouldn't have met if it wasn't for Zoom.
Isn't that so true? It's one of the things that,
and I was against it at first.
Yeah.
Because I said, man,
many were. Yeah. Understandable.
You can't feel anything.
Yeah.
But when you're training with people who already have good training to begin with, and they're willing to take that and go and play with it, then I learned a lot of stuff from VHS tapes back in the day.
I totally agree with you. Too. Like, if you have a good background, like, there's stuff that you can actually absolutely benefit from. You know what I mean? So
you just have to be intelligent with what you're doing with it, and then have a good training partner that is willing to say, that that this doesn't feel right. Because there's a lot of things that you learn strictly by feel. So
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Well,
I enjoyed it.
I think it's done a lot for the community during the COVID, and folks trying and doing different styles that perhaps normally they wouldn't have, you know, based on that time and with the Zoom offerings.
It's the amount of people that I have met that there's no way in the world I would have met them. And yeah, it's virtual meetings, but still, it makes the world a little bit smaller, makes the community a little bit smaller. I think a lot of the politics is kind of softened a little bit because of being able to actually converse with people.
Yeah, and I think it will continue to soften too as some of the older guard. So
there's enough for everybody, and the systems are, we're human beings moving like human beings. Eventually, there's going to be crossovers on everything. You can only move so many ways. And I tell my students this all the time. I don't care where you are in the world. I'm in South Louisiana. If I do that, it hurts.
Exactly. Don't get to Alaska. It still hurts.
It hurts. I go to Asia, it hurts. It's the same. What we use, how we teach it, how we use the terminologies for it is different because we all speak different languages. But the human body can only do so many things. Eventually, it's going to be the same.
So true. Yeah.
And there's how many billions of people that are on the earth? There's enough for everybody. You don't need to get them all.
That whole tribalism, what's going on with that tribalism? Like, you can't.
Yeah, I hate it.
I think that's going to fade out, though. I really do. I think when this younger, or not even younger, I don't know, 30s, 40s, even guys like us that are clear-headed, I think this is going to be this wave of like people just don't want to deal with that older crap. Like they want to embrace this cross training and pollination. And I think that's going to continue because I think the old guard that was maybe adverse to that or negative to that are going to start to just fade out. I do.
I dislike the term cross training. It's training.
Training, okay. I can live with that.
If I'm cross training, I'm going to be doing something totally different with my body.
All right. Okay. I agree with that.
I'm going to martial art. I'm still punching, kicking, kneeing, elbow, swinging things at people or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't look at any of that as being cross training. Is there some?
I should say cross system or different systems. Yeah, I got you.
Cross systems, yeah. But I mean, it's the human body can only do so many things.
Yeah.
And there's crossover all over the place.
Yeah.
If I was going to go do CrossFit versus what I'm doing here, then I would say I'm cross training. But
that would be
because that's using my body completely differently. But
What about Taibo?
Anyway. Yeah, there you go.
I am now officially training. I am doing Taibo.
There is no cardio that you can do that is better for you for fighting than fighting.
Yeah, stress inoculation, adrenaline. Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed. What we got here? Nothing. I'm just saying this. I think I might have another question for you, Coach. But when it happens, we will still be called FMA. Better yet, is it FMA? That's a show right there. I don't know.
Call it what you want. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's
right.
It's training.
That's a show right there. Is it truly FMA?
You were saying it. Hopefully, this is going to go away, but unfortunately, I think we're seeing in some cases a resurgence. I travel a lot, Dean. You know that.
Really? I'm sorry to hear that.
And there's a lot of places that I go, and I said, look, I'm going to be in the area for a week or two, and come in and train. And a lot of places are, come on in. But I've been surprised at how many have said, no, if you don't train with us, you don't train. You're not in our organization. And I was like, man, is this the 70s again? 80s again? Come on.
My God. Wow.
I mean,
I am naive to a very large extent, but I guess through my lens, through what I'm hearing, seeing on the interviews, and some of the cross pollination, as far as Zoom and all that, I was kind of hoping like, okay, this is leaving us. But certainly, if you're getting around to these different places and you're experiencing it, that's sad.
Oh yeah, and I'm seeing it in all of the arts and places that I go, because it doesn't matter to me. It's training.
So you're seeing it beyond
I'll go to
FMA?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, beyond that, yes. But I mean, I go to taekwondo school, and you're not with us. I've gone to a multitude of Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools. No, you don't. You're not part of our organization. You don't train with us. Yes.
How sad
Now,
is that?
on the same note, I've had far more that have said, "Yeah, come on in."
Yeah.
But I'm
Oh,
still
good.
getting,
Well, that's good to hear. That's
still
good to
getting
hear.
shut down
Yeah.
with a lot of them. I have not been shut down at any Muay Thai school that I've gone to, but I have
I hear
been
that.
to.
Yeah. I forget who I was talking to, and I hear they tend to be on the more open side.
I think people who fight are more open.
There you go.
Period. Because when you get hit, there's nothing more truer than that. How can you say I didn't get hit?
It's like the Dog Brothers. It's like you could be driving into town and they could be training together. And if, hey, you might find jump, they would absolutely say, yeah, come on over. Sure. Try this out. Absolutely. You know what I mean? They would absolutely do it. Because I've seen it. I've seen it when I've had them up for beat the crap out of cancer and all that. Like completely open to anybody coming in and try it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
we're that way. And we push our people, go. If there's another school on the other side, go check them out. If they have something better than us, train with them. If you want to come back to us, come on back. Is that a problem?
Yeah. I mean, right. It's not death or servitude, right?
I'm secure in what I have, and so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I agree. No argument here, obviously, on that. I'm just sad to hear that you did experience that or are experiencing that in your travels.
Yep.
Ooh, Renee is here.
Hello, Renee.
Renee Cocola. Guys, Renee is here. Okay. So. Oh my goodness. But hey, this has been. I really appreciate you doing this. This is, I think.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much. Dean, you've helped a lot of people, and I'm glad that you've come back and still going strong with it. Yeah. You've helped me by all means, and I know that you've helped a lot of other people that are obscure. You're doing a good job, and it's needed. Excellent.
Appreciate it. It's guys like you that make it worth it, so.
Cool.
But you could be proud that you were the first one to kick off this new format. See?
Finally, number one. Look at there.
You're a trendsetter. But awesome, right. Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks everybody who showed up. Appreciate it.
Coach, you gotta check this out. Yes. Dean helped me save 10% on my I am a progressive agent.
And guys, if you have any other questions or whatever later on it comes about, send me a text or whatever, or Facebook me. It's not a problem. Be more than glad. I'm open. Awesome. There are no hidden secrets. Everything's hidden right in plain view where it belongs.
All right.
If I don't have the answer, then I'll say I don't have the answer.
That's it. We got Coach Danny is covering Seguidas, just Seguidas. Yeah. Awesome. But again, thank you for coming on, and obviously we'll be in touch. So.
Cool. Thank you. Good night.
All right. You take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, folks. There's something on my camera, and it's driving me nuts. Or is it just me? Am I coming blurry? I don't know. If I'm coming blurry, somebody say something. It looks like from my end, it looks like I'm grainy and blurry. But anyway, so that wraps up 439. Who is next? Friday night. GM Pogi. That is going to be pretty special. So you guys want to check that out. And I believe it's going to be 7 o'clock. Yes, Blurry. Ah, son of a gun. Like eating. All right. I'm not sure why it's doing this. Okay, I'm going to tell you what. Hang tight, guys. I got a couple announcements. I'm going to just try something here. All right. Hold on. I'm going to come right back, I swear. Better. All right. Yes. Now I can see myself. Yes. So Friday, episode 440, GM Pogi. So if you guys don't know who GM Pogi is, well, you're going to have to go look up on FMA discussion. I can't tell you what number it was, but you can see it. And he's coming on again Friday, and there's going to be a list of questions. They're all for state of FMA, what he thinks his nephew is doing. That would be Paulo. What else? I think gray sweatpants is probably going to come in the conversation. Women's self-defense, female students. What else? The top 100. GM Pogi was against that. He didn't want to participate in that. So all this good, fun stuff. Friday night, 8 o'clock. Sorry, 7 o'clock. GM Pogi, episode 440. So yeah, it's going to be fun. All right. So, but thank you for all those that jumped in, commented, and asked questions. I will see you guys hopefully Friday. And check this out. This is going to be released actually, I believe, Tuesday. Okay, bear with me here. So me and Kevin Goat, I went to Canada to do this project with Kevin Goat. And it is going to be released, I think, early next week. So this is all gonna be on knife. So yeah, there's Kevin Goat, all 6'4", 240 pounds of him. But at any rate, yeah, that was a weekend of hardcore banging into him. But yeah, so that's coming. And again, I think Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look for that. The release. All right. Okay, guys, I will see you hopefully Friday. Look for the flyer in FMA discussion group as far as episode 440 with GM Pogi. All right. Take care. So, yeah, I can't wait either, Gabe. It's going to be really good. 2 days of filming. It really came out really well. I'm not just saying that, but I thought so anyhow. All right, guys, take care.